So let's see what happens. So this was posted today on this individual's TikTok. I am sharing the tweet that was by the National Council of Canadian Muslims, but this apparently happened in Ottawa today.
You want me to say something?
That I took 2 minutes to pray. What was the issue?
Don't pray here. We don't want you praying here. You're bothering our other customers, okay?
Who did not one person I went to the...
So what he said, so I'll back it up and replay it again. But basically, this guy in the yellow vest who works for Via Rail is saying to him that you cannot pray here. And we do not want you to pray here. So I'll back it up. That's basically what he's saying to him.
You want me to say something?
That I took 2 minutes to pray. What was the issue?
Don't pray here. We don't want you praying here. You're bothering our other customers, okay?
Who did not one person I went to the end of the hallway? Not one
You're right near
person
the
had
business line.
anything to say. Not one person had anything to
Pray
say.
outside next time, okay?
In the cold, when I'm inside here.
Pray outside.
No.
I'm gonna complain to your employer.
Go
okay?
ahead.
So he goes, why don't you pray outside? And then he points out, like, well, you want me to pray in the cold? And then he says, I'm going to contact your employer.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You're going viral right now. Don't worry. Where you going to?
And that's the video. So I saw some people tweeting out like, oh, like there's context missing here or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. This is already pretty gross content by this Via Rail employee. The other thing is the guy's TikTok, it says it's part 2, but I can't find part 1 anywhere. So like I don't know what's going on there. Via Rail is apologizing after a Muslim man was told he couldn't pray at the Ottawa train station. So yeah, it's Ottawa. Ahmed, who asked that his last name not be used, said a security guard at the station told him he was not allowed to pray there and that he should pray outside. The Toronto man said the interaction left him feeling shocked, embarrassed, and disgusted. Via Rail issued a statement apologizing to Ahmed and the entire Muslim community and said they are investigating the incident. So then it quotes the guy saying, we don't want you praying in here. And it says, Ahmed told CTV News he was waiting to travel home to Toronto by bus on Monday when his bus was delayed by a few hours. Some Ottawa-Toronto buses run from the Via station. Before leaving the station to explore downtown Ottawa, he decided to pray. He washed up in the bathroom and walked across the station to an empty hallway. After praying there for a few minutes, he returned to his luggage and the co-worker he was traveling with. He said a security guard then approached him to tell him he couldn't be praying in the station. Ahmed said he was stunned. I wasn't bothering anybody. I was on my own little corner. I wasn't even loud, he said. It was just a lot to handle, so I ended up just sitting down, he added. I was in a state of shock. At that point, bystanders started filming on their phones, along with his coworker, so he asked the man to repeat himself. I asked him, sorry, I didn't hear you. Could you say that again? Videos of the incident taken from 2 separate angles shows a security guard speaking to Ahmed and telling him not to pray in the train station. Don't pray in here. We don't want you praying here. You're bothering our other customers, okay? He says. Ahmed tells him he went to the end of the hallway and not one person had anything to say. Pray outside next time, okay? The security guard responds. He also tells Ahmed he would complain to his employer and then walks away. So all that was in the video. The video, which Ahmed posted on TikTok and Instagram, have gone viral. Ahmed said the interaction... So maybe the first half is on Instagram? Because I only looked at TikTok. Ahmed said the interaction left him feeling hurt and disrespected. He made me feel embarrassed. I was just disgusted. Like, this is Canada. This is the nation's capital. This is Ottawa. If I was doing something where I'm causing a scene, that's a different story. But if I'm minding my own business, it looks like I'm doing yoga. What is the real situation? He said other passengers in the station came up to him and said he should have been allowed to practice his religion as he pleases. I almost wonder, too, if, like, somebody complained to the security guard, which is, like, not to take away from the racism of the security guard, but, like, there's, like, layers of racism in that there was probably someone else who was also racist. Unless it's just the security guard being racist up front, then... Because all of this is, like, fucking gross. Like, let the person pray. Like, who the fuck cares? It's like, if I don't know, a Christian's just sitting there and all of a sudden goes, would they have been like stopped and be like, excuse me, sir. Take those hands, separate the hands, no praying. No praying in the train station. Somebody closes their eyes for a second to, like, I don't know, conjure their deity. No! Open your eyes, sir. No, no hint of praying. So Via Rail is investigating. In a statement, Via Rail said it was dismayed to learn of the incident. First and foremost, we want to apologize unreservedly to the individuals involved and to the entire Muslim community, the statement said. Freedom of religion, including the ability to worship, is a human right and is enshrined in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Via Rail strongly condemns and will not tolerate any form of discriminatory behavior. We take this situation very seriously and are currently investigating the incident and will take the appropriate actions pending the outcome of that investigation. I do love the idea of, like, an investigation. It's like, here it is. What more do you need to investigate? There's your employee, and here's the interaction in which he's being a bigot. Pretty cut and dry investigation, if you ask me. Unless, like, they bring him in to talk to him and, like, so, security guard, do you want to explain your behavior? And he's like, oh, I was not myself. I was, I transcended mind and body, and so something else took over me. It was those bigoted demons that inhabited my body. Ahmed not impressed by apology. Despite the apology issued, Ahmed said he felt that Via Rail was not genuinely sorry. I'd say I agree with Ahmed. He said after the interaction with the security guard, 2 Via employees approached him when he was speaking with one of the bystanders who shot the interaction. He said the employees defended the security guard by saying he had worked there for a long time and deals with a lot of homeless people. Oh my God, they've made it a lot worse for themselves. Oh, I don't know if Ahmed's responding any better here. I said, you're trying to say that I'm homeless? Then they tried to change the topic. Ahmed said, I said, isn't this borderline racism? They said, oh no, you shouldn't think like that. Ahmed's statement isn't too bad, but, like, who cares? Let the homeless people fucking sit there too. Like, dear God. At that point, he said he was already fed up and said he didn't want to continue the conversation and respectfully left the station. Their lack of care was evident, he said. He said he went downtown and came back to the station a few hours later, where he prayed again with no issues. He then got on his bus and went home, still in disbelief. For certain people to say you can't participate in practicing your religion, it was like a spit in the face, he said. The apology is cool, but what are you really going to do to make this right? I'm not impressed with your little 6-sentence apology. Many Muslims pray 5 times a day, before dawn, in the afternoon, late afternoon, after sunset, and nighttime. Ramadan, the Muslim holy month, starts on Thursday. Ahmed said he had heard stories of other people experiencing Islamophobia, but never thought it would happen to him. I never experienced it before this situation, but it's quite clear and it's quite evident Islamophobia is a real thing. Yeah, I think Via Rail should do a lot more than just put out some sort of, like, pithy apology. They should find some ways to make amends here, you know. And I know, like, capitalist system, etc., but, like, and, like, restorative justice, etc., but maybe this guy shouldn't have a job. Maybe this guy should not be employed. I don't know. Is that too policing of me? Is that too, I don't know. There's some people who are just like, don't get people fired, and they get mad at it. But, like, I don't know. I think racists should not be hired. Is that a controversial take? I think racists should be fired for being racist. Is that like controversial? When I was a kid, my dad was so terrified to pray in public, he knew local Arab business owners who would let him pray in the back. Too much harassment. Yeah, it's fucked up. Especially because, like, as my joke earlier, like, no one would stop. Like, have you seen those fucking cringy videos where just, like, Christians on airplanes will bust out guitars and start singing hymns and shit? And like, that is an actual crime to my ears, okay? A Muslim person quietly praying is, like, less offensive than that. And yet, they can like get away with like strumming their little tunes on airplanes and annoying the hell out of everyone, you know? I also don't know, like, let's be real, I've never had a Muslim knock on my door and try to proselytize to me. Yet Christians do that shit all the fucking time. I still can't get over the please understand he wasn't necessarily being Islamophobic. He might just be trying to inject a homeless person into the cold. I know, like, I can't. Oh, lordy. Lordy. As soon as I started reading that, I was just like, oh no, they're making it worse. They're making it so much worse. I now want them to put out a statement apologizing to the homeless population. It would be amazing if they're like, because we offended the houseless, we are now opening all via rail stations to house where people can stay warm until the government introduces better housing legislation. It'll never happen, but you know, one could dream.